Kari Larson here with the Yes Lifestyle. So thankful to have you joining me. We are doing a compilation of all our core strength and back mobility and stability exercises today. So bringing you through about 6 or 7 different movements all together in a routine that you can use every day of the week. All right, we're going to start out with our basic squat movement, and then we're going to move to the floor from there. So start out with 10 squats. If you need to see form or reference how to on any of these movements, you can go to the individual videos that are also on the YouTube page. We're going to do 10 of these. Let's do 6 more here. 6. Make sure to brace through the core. Keep your back nice and flat. Send your booty back. Hinge at those hips. 3 more. 2 more, and last one. Great, let's move down onto the floor for our next movement. We're gonna go into bridging. All right guys, moving to the floor for bridging. Lie on your back, feet flat on the floor, knees bent. Inhale, exhale, scoop. Roll those hips up in line with the knees and shoulders and roll slowly down. Make sure you're articulating the movement all the way through, bracing through the core, engaging the glutes, lifting those hips straight up towards the ceiling, making sure there's no extra stress or tension in your head, neck, and shoulders, but the weight of your body is staying on the back of your shoulders. Exhale, scooping up. You can get a little breath of air in here at the top, and then roll slowly down. Again, inhale, exhale, scoop, rolling it up. Keep bracing through that core and roll slowly down. 4 more. Exhale, scoop, tuck, roll. Lengthen those knees forward over those toes. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Roll all the way down. You can roll onto your side, come up to sitting, and we're gonna do some rotational movements. So just cross your leg over the other. Opposite hand comes to the outside of the knee. If that's as far as you can go, fine. Lift long, straight through that torso, lengthen through the crown of your head. If you can go further, inhale, exhale, rotate away from that leg. Inhale here, exhale, come back to center. Inhale again, exhale, rotate. Think of wringing the air out of the lungs, rotating your vertebrae on a nice axis. So it's staying upright, lengthened, and straight. You're not leaning forwards or backwards, and you're just looking as gently as you can back over your shoulder as you do the movement. We'll do one more on this side, and then we'll go to the other. Inhale, exhale, scooping, lengthening, reaching, letting your eyes lead your head around and coming back forward. I'll spin around so you can see my other side. Opposite leg over, opposite elbow on that knee. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, rotate, wringing the air out of your lungs and coming back to center. Now you may find that one rotation, either left or right, is easier than the other side, and that's perfectly normal. Just from lack of moving one side or moving one side more than the other, you'll get a discrepancy. But all the more reason to be doing this and rotating and lengthening your spine and bracing through the core to keep that good movement or increase that movement you need. We're gonna roll over onto your hands and knees, and we're gonna go into planks. Now remember, you can do all the variations we've talked about in our other video, kneeling, forearms, hands. I'm gonna do a traditional plank, okay? Pick your level, start from there. So if you're gonna just do a traditional plank on your knees, bring your knees out and brace to the core. Now you wanna try to hold this for 30 seconds, okay? If this is easy for you, if this isn't a challenge for you and you're just holding this like it ain't no thing, you can make it more challenging. Do a single leg lift. Or maybe you just need to hold where you're at. Or maybe you're holding where you're at and you're going, this is getting really hard, I can't go hold 30 seconds, and you need to drop to your knees. That's okay too. Find your level, that's what's most important. Pick that and try to hold it for 30 seconds and go from there. Good. Now to side planks. I like to bring one hand to the center of my mat and rotate. So I'm gonna bring my hand to the center, rotate onto the sides of my feet, line up my shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles, tip of my head to the tip of my toes, and brace through the core, okay? Again, if you need to drop a knee down, you can do that. If you need to drop both knees down, you can do that. Keep that shoulder away from your ears, or hold a full plank, or maybe add some movement. Make it a little more interesting or challenging. Pick your level. That's what's great about this. Find your level and go with it. Go from there, okay? So only this a few more seconds, and then we'll flip to the other side. Now, I would normally just flip to the other side from here, but so I don't turn my back to you, I'm gonna spin around. Again, get your hands under you, feet back. Find your center, rotate to the side of your feet, and hold that plank position. Again, shoulders down away from the ears, okay? If you need to bend a knee down or two knees down, you can. Keep that nice straight alignment. If you have a mirror, awesome. If you can do one up, maybe for part or all of it, or both up, just brace through that core and hold it, okay? Again, if you wanna add more challenge and make it harder, there's all levels of options here. These are great movements for anyone and everyone, no matter what your level of fitness is. This is for everyone, guys. All right, so bring those knees down, and we're gonna go to opposite arm leg reaches. So on all fours, hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. You're bracing through your core, keeping it engaged. Start just with the arms, one arm out, and bring it down. You're focusing to make sure you keep your shoulders down away from your ears as you glide your arms forward. Lengthen one leg straight back, and bring it back in. Move forward a little bit so you can see my feet. Lengthen the other leg straight back, and bring it in. And then we combine movements. One leg out and one arm forward. You want to try to have a straight line from toe to fingertips, and you want to try to hold this for 30 seconds. Bracing through the core, keeping it long. Again, if you need to keep your foot on the floor, that's okay, if that's where you're at. If you want it more challenging and you want to trace a little triangle shape with your hands and your feet, you can do that. I usually go a few times in each direction if that's what I choose to do. Bring your arm down, your leg in. We're gonna switch to the other side. Lengthen the other leg straight up behind you, or leave it on the ground. And bring the opposite arm forward. Again, energy from the tip of your fingers to the tip of your toes, bracing through the core. Back is flat, shoulders are down away from your ears. If you need to keep that toe on the ground, you can. If you wanna make it harder and trace a little rectangular shape, I usually equate it to about the size of a cell phone. A few inches over, a couple inches up, and going in each direction. I usually go about 4 times in each direction, or hold this all for about 30 seconds. And then bring that arm down and the leg in. Good, we're gonna combine this with our arches and our curls. So a little arch and curl. So rounding the spine up towards the ceiling, scooping the belly button toward the spine, and then extending eyes and heart forward, tailbone up. Exhale, scooping and rounding, and then extending. Good, and bring that into a child's pose. I like to make my child's pose active. I reach my tailbone and sit bones back. I crawl and walk my fingers forward. So it's an active stretch, holding that stretch. I feel it in my upper back, my shoulders, my arms. It feels great. Good, coming up again. We're gonna go into those opposite arm leg reaches. So I'm gonna bring my leg back, my arm forward, and I'm gonna trace those rectangles. Over, down, over, up. And I'm just gonna do about 3 or 4 times in each direction. Again, pick your level here. You may need to keep one foot on the ground or hover it just slightly off the ground. If you used a box for your planks, hand down, foot in, we'll switch sides. Opposite arm up, opposite leg back. If you used a box for your planks, you can keep that box under your hands for this exercise. So if you find you're losing your stability and teetering, it gives you a surface to catch yourself on and to just hover off of. That's a little bit higher than the floor might be. Okay, hand down and leg in. Great, again, arch and curl, rounding the back up and extending, rounding it up and extending. Scooping that belly button towards the spine. Eyes and heart forward, tailbone up. One more time. Good, and then sit back onto your heels. Crawl those fingers forward. Good, coming up, go ahead and bring your legs out in front of you. We're gonna do that saw motion. So sitting tall again, this is where we talked about you might need a bolster. If you can't sit with your legs out in front of you, if you sit up on a pillow or rolled up blanket, that'll bolster you up and you'll be able to sit with your legs out. Inhale, exhale, rotate, and act as if you're gonna saw off your pinky toe with your hand, rotating the other way. Getting a nice rotation and a stretch. This is a great stretch for the legs, for the back, lengthening, strengthening, mobility and movement all in one. It's great. One more time. And that's it, guys. That's all of our movements put together into one solid workout. Go back, repeat it from the beginning. So go do this as a circuit. Do it like 3 times through and you will be set. Have a great day. Say yes to movement and yes to a happier and healthier you. Thanks for joining me.